I know, you guys are probably getting really annoyed at how many videos I've made at this point covering this absolute waste of oxygen, but let me tell you, this video is going to be a pretty juicy one considering the ramifications of what we're going to be talking about, so just make sure you stay till the end because you do not want to miss this. Just to give you guys a quick recap of what I'm talking about, Quantum TV was just recently arrested after an altercation with his now ex-wife during a domestic dispute, and in my latest video on this situation, I went into further detail about everything that had to do with the case and all of that stuff. So if you want a quick summary, just go check out that video, it will be in the description. But the reason I'm making this video is because Quantum TV has returned and made a video responding to all the people talking about his whole situation. Quantum's ex-wife has also seemingly come out and given some details regarding all of this, where she tells us that Quantum had forced her out of fear to drop the charges she had on him. So as you can see, we are going to be talking about some pretty crazy stuff. But first, I wanted to go over what Quantum had to say in his video after the little hiatus he took after everything went down, and respond to some of the things he says because, to no surprise to any of us, he's making it really hard for us to take his side on all of this. So without further ado, let's just roll the video.
So I'm tired of being harassed about getting arrested, so I'll just read you a little bit of this letter of declination of prosecution and just kind of help you understand it. Number one, my soon-to-be ex-wife wrote this in her own handwriting and swore to it under oath, okay? At the end of the day, these are her words, and this is what she said the day after I got arrested, okay?
So as you can see, Quantum TV has the actual document of her supposed declaration of prosecution and is choosing to use it to try and clear his name. But let me just read the whole thing to you guys myself because I think something might be a little fishy with what's written in this document. Now, the declaration says, "My name is blank, wife of 10 years of blank. I am the alleged victim in this case. On April 14th, 2023, my husband and I got into a verbal argument. It was a mutual confrontation, and my emotions got out of hand. I attempted to move a substantial amount of money we collectively saved into an account only I controlled in a mobile banking app on my phone. In an effort to prevent me misappropriating the funds, life savings, he removed the phone from my hand. I yelled for him to return the phone, and when he did not, knowing that once returned I would take out funds, I then threatened to call the police to mediate. I went to the leasing office, dialed the non-emergency line, and asked for a single officer. My husband did not strike or hurt me in any way. I'm not afraid of him, and for the duration of our relationship, I have never been in any danger. I will refuse to cooperate in this case against him." Now, I don't think it takes any more than 5 brain cells to see that this written declaration is just a little bit sketchy. I mean, just reread what she wrote and tell me that this doesn't paint Quantum TV in the most perfect light imaginable. In my opinion, at least, the language that's used in this just reeks of manipulation in the sense that it's twisting the narrative to try to make his wife look like the bad guy, and that what Quantum was doing was just perfectly normal. Like in the very first line of this letter where it says she was the alleged, quote, victim. Like, come on, you can't tell me that's not something Quantum would say. And even when it says, I attempted to move a substantial amount of money we collectively saved into an account only I controlled. And when it says, I yelled for him to return the phone, and when he did not, knowing that once returned I would take out funds, I then threatened to call the police to mediate. Which kinda sounds like she's making an excuse for Quantum by saying that she knows what he was thinking in that situation. I mean, if I didn't know any better, I would think that this was Quantum writing all of this down. I also want to get something straight real quick. I remember that when it was found out that Quantum TV was arrested, the police report that was made after the incident stated that Quantum's ex-wife tried to move funds from her own personal account into another. Not from an account that they shared their savings in, but her own. However, this document claims that she tried to move funds from an account they shared together and in which they each collectively added money to, which just makes this declaration of prosecution even more shady. Like, you would think that if his wife wrote this with no influence whatsoever, she wouldn't have tried to make herself look shitty and make Quantum look completely innocent in this situation. But at the end of the day, that would just be speculation, and I'm not saying that he was over her shoulder telling her what to write word by word or anything like that, but it's just hard to imagine someone writing this without any outside influence whatsoever. Let's just go ahead and roll the next clip.
I'll just kind of read you the last part because it's the most relevant to this whole situation that you guys are calling me a woman beater, okay? My husband did not strike or hurt me in any way. I am not afraid of him, and for the duration of our relationship, I have never been in any danger. I will refuse to cooperate in this case against him.
Look, I'm not the one calling Quantum a woman beater because from what I've seen, if he's abusing her in any way, it would be mentally, But Quantum, if she wasn't scared of you in any way or didn't at least feel threatened being in your presence, why did she file a restraining order against you on May 19th that lasts a whole 2 years? And this was after she had written this declaration of prosecution, and you didn't want to bring that up in this video you made. So you just want us to look past that and claim that just because she wrote this and swore to it under oath, that we are supposed to ignore the fact that she wants to be as far away from you as possible? I don't think so.
She wrote this in a separate room from me. It was notarized and signed, and she swore to it, okay? This is how she felt after I got arrested. Now, why would that be the case? Well, simply put, she didn't mean to get me arrested. We were arguing, and like she said in this letter right here, she let her emotions get the better of her. I didn't have any say in her writing this. I didn't coach her or coerce her in any way. She chose to write this and swear to it, right? In fact, I was there at the lawyer's office telling her, you probably don't want to write this. You know what? You probably should look out for yourself. I don't want you to get yourself in any trouble. I was worried about her more than myself.
Alright, now come on with this bullshit. Oh, I tried to convince her not to write this for her own good. I was worried about her. Yeah, right, okay. If you were so worried about her and didn't want her to get in trouble, why are you pulling a 180 and showing this for everybody on the internet to see? I just really can't with this guy.
A common occurring theme in our relationship, I loved her more than I loved myself. Now, this shot me in the foot back in March because she, like many of the doxers figured out, she took our pets, she took all of our life savings, and she left me. And I was in such a dark spot that I tried to kill myself, okay? I was Baker acted. Well, she used this against me. And it helped get a 2-year restraining order. Now that she wants to kind of recant her statements here and her letter of declination of prosecution.
Alright, now who here watching this video knew that at some point he was going to play the victim card? I'll tell you right now that I'm not surprised in the slightest. He's now saying that she took everything from him and that he was in such a dark place that he tried to endgame himself. Then she got him Baker acted so that she could use that in the legal system as an excuse to get a restraining order against him? I don't know about you guys, but this is just some straight up mental gymnastics. I'm talking about some Olympic level type shit. What really happened was he mentioned offing himself as a way to manipulate his wife to not leave him, like what happens in a lot of abusive relationships, which prompted her to get him Baker acted so that he couldn't just go to a gun store and get a firearm that he could unalive himself with. She got him Baker acted because she was worried he was going to hurt himself, and now Quantum wants to pretend like it was all part of a master plan to escape him? Should her wanting to get away from him even be something he needs to complain about in the first place? She still cared about him enough to try and protect him from himself, and now he's turning it against her and making her look like the villain here, which I have to say is some really shitty behavior. Like, this is actually disgusting.
Now, I'm not sitting here calling her a bad person because I don't believe that for a second. Again, she was loving, she was kind. We had a lot of fun playing Animal Crossing and being Animal Crossing buddies, going to Universal, enjoying Velocicoaster and all the drops and rides, and her wanting to do that with somebody else now doesn't change the fact that I loved her. And I truly gave everything for her. Her birthday this past year, she didn't want to do anything. We experienced a death in the family. And I still pushed her to go out and go watch the Super Mario movie in 4DX. I bought the tickets twice because the first time she didn't feel up to watching it. She just didn't want to. She was so sad. And I told her birthday's worth celebrating. She's worth celebrating. Bought the tickets again and we went. We had a good time. It was great. This was on April 13th. Read the date, bro. The day before I got arrested for our marital spat, I took her to go watch the 4DX Super Mario movie. Am I really that fucking abusive, bro? Like, really? Like, she was not in a good spot at that time. Now, of course, this never fucking comes up. Nobody cares about this part of the story, about how I was before, about who I am as a man. Nobody cares. They only listen to what she has to say, and, well, I guess it's true. But the truth is, on April 13th, we were chilling. I loved watching that movie with her. And then, of course, if you want to ignore all the history that we've had on this channel, this happened on the 14th.
So, you, Quantum, saw that she was grieving the loss of a loved one, and because it was her birthday, went against her wishes and bought both of you tickets to the Mario movie just so that you could go see a movie on her birthday. You already bought her tickets once, then she insisted that she didn't want to go because she just wasn't up to it. So you bought them a second time and forced her to go anyways. I mean, if I had to deal with the stress of losing someone I really cared about, I wouldn't want to go out at all. I mean, I don't anyways because I don't touch grass or see the light of day in the first place, but Jesus Christ, man. And the fact that you're trying to pretend like everything was fine because you saw a movie the day before the incident, or that you guys play Animal Crossing together, or that she gives you tea during your streams, and all of a sudden the day before you go see a movie, she supposedly freaks out and you get arrested because of it. Don't act like everything in your relationship was perfectly fine up until the day you got arrested, because we both know that isn't true. Because that's the case with literally every relationship, and you should know that.
We had an argument. And again, it was a verbal argument about something very personal to her, right? And she needed my help with it, and I was trying to help her with it, but I was not enough to solve her personal problem. It was something only she could solve, okay? But I still tried for her. That was my mistake in trying to solve something I couldn't fix. I can't fix those kinds of problems, but I still fucking tried because I'm a man. And when your woman shows up and gives you a problem, you try. But I got fatigued multiple times, and I just made the situation worse for her. And for that, yeah, sure, of course, I feel bad. And of course, I'm sorry that I couldn't go the distance for her problem and live it as long as she needed me to. But damn it, I did my best. Now, the whole point of me showing you this is to prove, again, I'm not a woman beater. I'm not somebody that has hurt my wife. I'm not somebody that has put her down. How is it possible that on the 13th we go watch 40X, we have an argument, she fucking flies off the handles because she's already not in a good spot because she didn't want to celebrate her birthday to fucking begin with it. I push her to go celebrate. We have a great fucking time. And then I get arrested because I take a phone. I took a phone to stop her from moving our life savings. Because we were making moves, we were making progress in this thing of hers, and we were pushing forward, and we were at the finish line.
Oh, we were making moves, we were making progress in this thing of hers. Yeah, it was hers, not yours. You think that her money is actually yours, and that she can only spend it how you want her to spend it because of what? Because you thought that it would be best for her? So you go ahead and take her phone and prevent her from doing what she has the right to do with her own money? You even said in the official police report that you took her phone because she was going to take funds out of her own bank account. It says right here, so I'm not lying. How much of a control freak do you have to be to get to the point where you apparently want what's best for your partner, so you keep her from making her own financial decisions when it's none of your business? It's not your decision to make in the first place.
Instead of doing her last final part, her only job, her last job she would ever have to do with this personal chapter in her life, she threw it away because it was too stressful, too emotional, too traumatizing. She didn't want to deal with it and walked away. That is all the explanation any of you were getting. At the end of the day, I still love this woman very much, but I understand that she chose to be my ex-wife. She chose another person. She chose another life. She chose a world where I'm in no contact with her. I am as distant and as far away in the back of her mind and never thought the fuck again as I could possibly be. She chose every day me waking up agonizing over her, me in pain, me in suffering, me hating life. She chose this for me. I can't make her choose anything else. I can love her, but when I tell you, hear me on this, boys, love is never enough. You need loyalty. You need somebody that understands you and is willing to work past problems, and you need a plan for when you have problems on how to fix those problems. I'd always tell her, the problem isn't you, and the problem isn't me. The problem is the problem, and we've got to attack it together and fix it, and she didn't want to do it anymore. So at the end of the day, I wasn't enough. I couldn't fix her problem. And now, because I made a mistake, okay? I crossed one of those boundaries for that problem of hers, and now guess what? I got discarded, thrown away, treated like the filth in her life that's all bad and is irredeemable, and now everything she's ever going to see me as is all bad, no matter what I've done.
And here it is again. He's trying to make his ex-wife look like the villain here, when in reality, she just doesn't want anything to do with him. She chose to back away from Quantum and do what's best for herself, and now he wants to play the victim, saying, she wanted me to wake up every day, agonizing over her and me being in pain and suffering and hating life. She chose this for me. In what world does that even make any real sense to you, Quantum? All she wanted to do was to separate herself from you and move on. What, are you just being salty that she finally got fed up with your bullshit and left you? Like, come on.
So again, I'm not putting this out to harm my former Animal Crossing buddy or to make the woman that made me tease seem like a villain or play the victim against her. Because I'm very sure for her, her problem that she has that she had to deal with, especially living with me, it wasn't always easy. And you know what? It got to a point where she was tired of it and just wanted her space, and she's got that now. But I'm not going to sit here and air her business out, make her look like shit, or any of that. Because she's still a very good person, guys. She just did the wrong thing. And an evil thing. A very heartless, evil thing.
Oh my god, do you not hear the words that come out of your own mouth? You just told us that what she did was terrible and that it was wrong, and then you turn around and say that you didn't make this video to bash on her for what she did that made you so upset? This is what this whole video has been about in the first place. All you do is lie, attack others, play the victim, and blame others for your mistakes, but then, when the person you are closest to eventually sees you for the person you really are and tries to distance themselves from you, instead of looking at yourself and thinking, maybe I could be wrong about some things, or maybe I'm doing something wrong here, you just do the only thing you know how to do and you start blaming literally anybody but yourself. And instead of coming out with a video finally owning up to what happened, or even just not making a video at all to begin with, you come out with a video where you try to save your ego because you just can't handle what other people have to say about you. And that's what it's always been from the start. Ever since last April, it's all been about people calling you out for being stupid, and then you get butthurt and start going after them, like what you did with Mischief, The Act Man, Review Tech USA, Minxie1, Gara, Sora, Repsion, Klutzy King, and so many others. All of this stems from you not being able to deal with criticism. So just for once in your life, take the L and go back to making TV reviews, you psychopathic narcissist.
I was trying to go to Universal like all the fucking time with her and hang out and just like drink vegan butter beers and like eat good food and like get my burgers and shit at like, you know, the various places we would go. Like you guys just stop, okay? At the end of the day, I'm tired. I'm already a broken man. You don't need to kick on somebody that's already weak unless you're weaker than me, right? Because if you got to beat on a weak man that has already lost everything, what does that say? What does that say about you, man?
I just wanted to go to Universal Studios and eat good food and drink vegan butter beers, so just stop attacking me, guys. I don't deserve this. Let me live in peace. That's not how this works, Quantum. You have been nothing but a thorn in the side of the entire YouTube community, and now when you get the shorter end of the stick and have shit going on in your personal life, you just want to be left alone and you want us to feel bad for you? Yeah, good luck making that happen. The only way you can get us to stop calling you out on your bullshit is for you to stop going after other people. That's it. I know, crazy idea, right? If you were to just go back to what you used to do and make TV reviews, I'm sure the vast majority of people will stop talking about you. So you can do what you want to do, and I can do what I want to do, which is to make videos on people being stupid on the internet. And as long as you continue to be the person you are, people like me will always be here to expose your dumbass for the millionth time.
Let it go, drop it. You got a problem about Elden Ring and the way that YouTube debacle turned out, like all these people mentioning Elden Ring and Quantum getting arrested have done, because, spoiler, it's about the same fucking thing all over again, then go complain to YouTube again. Send it back to them. Send my channel again for review so that YouTube can go again and look at me and see I've done nothing and tell you the same thing over and over again. I'm not the person that you claim I am. I have been hacked. I keep getting hacked. My credit card was just fucking stolen and hacked. I'm getting all these fraudulent charges. I gotta cancel it and open up a new one. Because you guys find various ways to do very creative things, I'll give you that. But damn it, I'm not gonna yield in my position of being who I am just because you want to attack me on so many levels, dude. Like, it is what it is. Spam my emails, do what you gotta do, but I'm not gonna stop being me. That's my truth. That's who I am, and you don't have to agree. And I'm not gonna sit here and treat her like she's a bad person or she's a monster, because she's not. She just really did the wrong thing. And that happens in life. And sometimes, unfortunately, it just means that now it's time to go our separate ways, which is what she wanted anyway. Stay out of our business, stop doxing, stop digging, and live your life. It's not mentally healthy to go into somebody else's life and try to plaster it all over the internet because you don't like them over a fucking video game review. Let it go, touch some grass, and do something productive with your life. You'll be amazed at how you can recover in whatever trauma or whatever pain you're going through to make you want to focus so intently on me in that one situation. If you just go live your life, try your best, one foot in front of the other, one breath at a time. If I can do it, of all people in my situation, having to deal with this, you can do it too.
And now, we're gonna leave off on an inspirational quote. Try your best, one foot in front of the other, one breath at a time. If I can do it in my situation, you can too. You know, it's funny that he's now talking like this because once he finally feels the consequences of his actions catching up to him, he starts getting sentimental and tries to act like he's in any place to give life advice. Because if I'm going to take advice from anyone, it's definitely not going to be from this guy. Oh, and about the whole Elden Ring comment he made earlier, I just wanted to bring something up that actually tells us a lot about what kind of a person Quantum really is, believe it or not. You know how I told you that Quantum's ex-wife has come out and revealed a few details about the situation they had, right? Well, another thing she said recently is that he has actually never even played Elden Ring. Wow, shocker, I know, right? Because Quantum privates all of his gaming accounts, like his Steam profile or his PlayStation profile and all that shit, we haven't been able to confirm whether or not he's even played the game after seeing all the shit he was talking about it in his Elden Ring review videos that started this whole thing. I even said in my videos covering him that I bet he had never even played the game, or at least not have played the game enough to warrant any sort of criticism. And now that his ex-wife has come out and confirmed this to us, we now know this to be fact and my theory still holds up. So what this means is that he made a video talking shit about Elden Ring as if he had played it himself, and proceeded to lie to people about certain things with the game in order to paint it in a bad light, just so that he could get some clout and attention. Because, after all, it was one of the most beloved games of last year, so obviously making a video where you give a negative review of the game is gonna get you attention. And when he got the attention he was looking for, he got butthurt that everybody was telling him his review sucked. So he made another video where he went after these people to the point where he told them to kill themselves.
At the end of the day, go kill yourself, man. At the end of the day, go kill yourself, man. At the end of the day, go kill yourself, man.
How fucking batshit crazy do you need to be to do something like this? I just don't understand. You piss people off so that you can get some attention by saying stuff you don't even truly believe yourself. Then when you get the criticism you were looking for, you lose it and go on a bunch of crazy rants about how the Elden Ring community is terrible and even saying they should kill themselves, and the rest is history. Like, what a fucking megamind genius move that was, you dumbass. Actually, I'm just so dumbfounded by how stupid this makes him look, like, holy shit. But that's about all we're going to cover when it comes to Quantum's video that he has responded with, which, by the way, he has since deleted, likely because he knew he fucked up by posting it, so there's that. But now I just wanted to tell you guys about what Quantum's ex-wife has recently come out and said, and I'll give my thoughts on that. So, if you have been following this thoroughly tickled man ever since all of the drama started, you should know someone by the name of Anonymous. Well, his name on YouTube is Anonymous Advice, and he often updates his community on different things that are going on with Quantum, at least what is public information anyways. If you recognize Anonymous, that is because he used to be very close to Quantum TV and even used to be a head mod in Quantum's Discord server. Before Anonymous posted an Elden Ring meme in it, in which Quantum revoked his mod status over because he literally banned everybody in his Discord from talking about Elden Ring. Yes, this really happened, I'm not messing with you. Elden Ring lives in that dude's head rent-free. But anyways, since then, Anonymous has appeared to see Quantum's true colors, and is now part of the driving force that's calling him out on the stupid shit that he does. He has also gotten contact with his ex-wife since all of this has gone down just recently, and she has even been chatting in Anonymous's own Discord server. Here are some of the screenshots. And before anybody asks if these are real, I've talked to people I trust with this kind of information who are in this Discord, and they have confirmed that this really is her. The same applies to Anonymous's community post that I talked about earlier, in which Quantum's ex-wife told Anonymous that Quantum had never played Elden Ring, and some other stuff that I've already talked about in this video. So finally, I wanted to brush up on some of these screenshots and talk about them before we end this video, because these are some pretty big pieces of information that I think more people should know about. The first two are these, where his ex-wife talks about the kind of mentality Quantum has, where she says, to him, so long as you say something negative, and I mean anything negative, you become the enemy. Hell, he accused me of that shit multiple times. And where she says, he doesn't care, either you agree with him or you're wrong. So obviously, most of us covering this already know Quantum acts this way, but hearing it coming from none other than his ex-wife kinda confirms to us that not only was he like this on the internet with people he disliked, but he was also like this with people he lived with and was close to in real life, which tells me at least that he isn't putting on some sort of character just so he can get attention on the internet, but that he is legitimately like this in real life, which is scary to think about, to say the least, and I'm just glad that after Quantum's wife left him, her and her kids are away from someone like that. Another couple of things his ex-wife has said regarding the Declination of Prosecution that I talked about in the beginning of this video, and in which Quantum talked about in his response video, where she says, I thought he would kick my ass, so I tried to make the charge go away. Along with her saying, he literally said he would drag me down to hell with him if I didn't. which I have to say is pretty disturbing just because it confirms that Quantum had forced her to write this declaration of prosecution that I said in the beginning of this video was already pretty fucking shady. So obviously, according to this information, this makes that whole part of Quantum's response video where he uses the document to make him look like he wasn't in any way abusing her that much more invalidated. I also fully believe that Quantum would say something like this considering how much he talks about religion when he says people are satanic and he starts to share the views he's had on the LGBT community and all that, which I don't feel like talking about again since it gets really crazy. You'll just have to check out one of the other videos I've made on this guy in the past. Again, the links will be in the description. But that's all that I'm going to be talking about in this video. I have recently come down with a cold, so I've been holding off on recording my voice for this video, which is why it's coming out a lot later than when all of this stuff has been revealed. But if you're here, it means that you still clicked on the video, and I appreciate that a lot. And while you're here, feel free to press that shiny white like button under the video and possibly tap that subscribe button as well if you like this kind of content. You can also find some of the other platforms I'm currently on, like my Twitch channel, which you should 100% follow by the way, not because I'm desperate or anything, all by using the link tree in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next video.